Okay, view from upstairs. It says fart. They added letters and shapes and stuff. Okay, so have dogs out and walk around, look at stuff. It's starting to get kind of ratty, but that's because I haven't rotated the blades at all since the firmware update that added letters and numbers, and you can't do symbols, just letters and numbers. And then they have a few symbols you can do, but you can't overlap them. You know, so no dicks yet. I wanted to draw a dick, but you can see the composition of my lawn, which is only like 50% grass, and like all these other parts that are super long. And that's because when it does the shapes, it just simply says, okay, I'm not going to cut this area, and it does perimeters around them. So essentially has a big rectangle, it doesn't mow. And it took about 2 weeks with my lawn to be able to really tell that it's doing something. So I'd imagine the only way you can make this look good in a professional setting would be, one, have really nice grass, and two, have it do the whole yard without the words at a different height. But then you'd have to delete the words, I think. I haven't messed with that in the app yet. Or you just get a normal mower and just go over this at, say, 3 inches while the yard's at 2, and then you'd have a nice step change with a nice lawn. But like, look at how long some of my stuff is. So yeah, it'll go away. I'm gonna get rid of it. It was just fun to try it out. But other stuff for the firmware update, it changed how it does edges, right? So when it goes around the perimeter, see, I haven't weed whacked up there in ages. It used to come to areas, especially up here by the driveway, where it's like, yeah, I drove it by hand, right, along this, and I'm like trying to keep it kind of nice. So it's like move and adjust, move and adjust. In the old version, it would try to like follow it perfectly, and it would take forever, especially to do that very first perimeter lap. And now it's kind of smoothed that out a bit, and it saved a ton of time. I mean, it's Thursday, and normally I'd be out here after work, and it's halfway down at the backyard, and it'll finish it up this evening and then start again in the front the next day. As he was about to drop a turd, and then the neighbor made a noise. he's 9 months old, so he doesn't know what to bark at and what not to bark at yet, so he just barks at everything. It can be super annoying sometimes, but he's getting better at deciding what's a threat. Like, he only barked once, and he's like, oh wait, it's the neighbor. Odin, come here. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Sit. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. You protected us and stuff. Yeah. The Great Pyrenees that does recall. Who'd have thunk it? And on this part, so before, it was starting to wear this. Like, this was almost a bare circle. Same thing down there and down there. So I watched it come back to the charging station the other day, and that same thing, they changed it so it shouldn't do tank turns when it's en route to stuff. So I have the setting to do 3-point, but now it does 3-point like everywhere, no matter what. You get a little bit of wiggle on the lines, which I don't care about, like especially right at the beginning, but these have already started to kind of heal themselves up, and I watched it just kind of like curve around the areas where it used to pivot to go to the charging station. And same thing up there, like all those spots that were bare before are already starting to look quite a bit better, just because they changed how it turns. Now this is all chopped up because we use the van to pull stuff out. It's not, mower didn't do that. Yeah, so pretty happy with it. Especially, it hasn't done any of its weird stuff, right, where normally I'd have like one a week. Hasn't done it at all since the firmware update. So one of the trouble spots was back here, where it would come across this part of the driveway, and then sometimes, gotta get that, oh, there's bald-faced hornets up there being buttholes, but it'd come across here, and like you can see how far it's mowing to the edge, but I'd find it just straight up on top of this rock with the front sticking out, right? And it's like, why'd you even go that far out? And then once it gets there, it's like, okay, I'm stuck. A couple times I found it in the driveway. It's like, oh, I'm out of bounds. It's like, yeah, I can see that. How'd you get so far out? And it hasn't done any of that. It was usually a once, twice a week thing between 3 26-hour mows, right? So not that bad of a failure rate, but now it's been a couple weeks and it hasn't done it even once. So that's my update. You can put cuss words in your yard and hearts and stuff, and pathing's a lot better. Yeah.